All right. I'm doing a video on this lighter particular because it's brand new. This is going to be probably, as far as Zaima lighters, this type of lighter is probably about all you're ever going to need to know. I mean, that's going to include lighters like this Nesser. These operate the same way, except this is just a flip cap. They have the same internal mechanism as you're going to see the only difference is they got a longer pin on these here than these do, because these have a different mechanism, shut-off mechanism. But basically, same operating principles. So, if you get a lighter, it's like that, built like that, got that type of valve system in it, this video could possibly work for you. Now, this lighter is actually sold. And first off, let me say that made in Japan. This is chrome plated model. Let me say that I believe this is the only one I've ever seen. It's brand new in a box. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Dump the lighter out. Set that aside over there, and we're going to work on this. I've recently acquired a few more seals that work better than what I've had in previous videos. So if you're working on a Zaima lighter, use this video, like a lighter like this, or like I showed you here just a second or two ago. Use this video as a help guide, okay? Because this one here will give you the latest updates for seals and what I use now. But anyway, I want to go over, first off, before I disassemble this, I want to go over with some recommendations, okay? You know, before, as you've seen in earlier videos, I had you guys get these disposable butane liners to get the pressure regulator out, the sponge, if you will, and to use it in these. And it works, but it's not really what you want to use. And I want to go over that and explain that to you why, okay, just so you guys will know, because this will help you on your flame regulation as far as regulating your flame, you know, getting more control, making it a little bit easier to deal with. So let's go over this first, okay? Now I'm going to get a part out of here from a valve system that I have inside here in my Zaima kit, which I'm pretty sure that I got in here somewhere. Maybe not. There's a part in here I want to go over with. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I might have used that. Anyway, let's just kind of continue, then I'll explain it as I disassemble the lighter. That way we can kind of get into it as we go. We'll go ahead and get ready. Since this is a new lighter, I'm going to be very careful with it, because I've already got this lighter sold. I sent pictures to the gentleman, and we want to keep this lighter in the same condition. after I get done repairing it, as it's in right now, you can tell, folks, this is a brand new lighter, brand new in the box. Alright, I've never seen one this good a condition. It's excellent. Okay, putting that over here on this soft rag like I got here. Now, you can tell that I got the old solid pin valve assembly in here. Well, you know, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a filler valve mod on this lighter as well, okay, just so you'll know. Now, I've always, I put this nut on this. For some reason it just works better for me to have this nut on here to lock against this bottom shaft here. The reason is that way it's easier just to move this bottom shaft to get this out. I didn't even know that this here tool would even work on these Zaima lighters. It'll work on these bigger valves, but it won't work on the smaller ones. It's got the regular hole in the middle, like it. But anyway. Okay, this also too keeps me from, because I always use before, you guys have probably seen, I've always used these, trying to get these out. Well, using this tool that I got here helps me to keep from burgering up those, stripping them out, making it look not very pretty anyway. I'm just going to disassemble this valve here. That's not the screwdriver I want. I want this one. This one's a little thinner. Now guys, I have never had any luck repairing these. These are just nightmare. Okay, let me tell you right now that these are just a nightmare to work on, because it takes a certain particular seal. And these, as you can see in the box, on the box here, see how this little space here, it actually came with something like this. Alright, well, I keep this for myself. But every time you get a box like this with a lighter in it, you don't hardly ever see that adapter in there. That's made specifically for this solid pin. But after I get done with the valve mod, the only thing you're going to need is just a regular can of butane. You won't need anything else. What I used, you see the brass down there in the middle? Well, there's a seal around that. This valve, the brass part, as you see here, actually comes out this side, but the O-ring's what's holding it in. So I just put this little bitty screwdriver in there, kind of tap on that, see, knock that valve piece out, and then get you a little, well, actually the seal and everything came out too. Right there's the seal. You know, this is still pliable, but it's been setting probably about 40-50 years, so it's not going to have the same dimensions as it was when it was first put inside. So all this stuff here, I just actually, this here stuff here, non-usable. Take it and throw it in here with my boxes and the parts. I'll sort it out later. Alright. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do a filler valve mod while I got this out. Let me see here. I use brass here. That'll work. Okay. First thing I like to do is get inside here with a little bit of sandpaper and kind of just roughing that, clean that surface up, because I'm going to be doing some soldering here. Okay, so you know what, guys, and you don't really need a soldering iron to do this either. I'll be honest with you, this is all I use right here, one of these little torches, because this thing here, you know, it's, that thing puts the heat out quick. Anyway, but what you want to do is just get in here, because we're going to be soldering, so you want to get in here and just kind of, yeah, we got, just clean that up a little bit on the inside. There we go. That's cleaned up. It's going to be I took a little bit of Dremel just to take the burrs off the end of this, okay? Let's see, okay, now that fits in there. This is a, I believe this is a 4mm. Let me look. It's actually a 5mm brass tube. You get that off eBay. That's where I got this. 5mm brass tube, and I think it's, let me see, 7515, so it's got about a 3.5mm internal diameter, somewhere right around there. I'm around a 3.5 ID with a about a 5 OD. Okay, just get that off eBay. Brass tube. All right. Now I'm just going to shove that in there, and I'm just going to mark it, score it up a little bit. And I'm going to go off camera because I don't want to get a bunch of brass dust on here. And I'm going to cut that off. It's a little warm, I can tell you that right now. Cool that off with some, you can see how we gotta wring that out a little bit, so. I'm not even gonna worry about that until, wring that out until later. What I'm going to do right now is take some more of that sandpaper I got right here and just scuff up the outside of this brass a little bit. Clean it up. You're doing this so you can get the solder to stick to the brass, alright? You don't need a real rough sandpaper, you're just scratching it up just enough to give it a good clean surface. We're good right there. Now, I'm going to put my vise I got here on my desk. And I'm going to bring my camera back here so you guys can see what's going on. Alright. Let me grab my stuff here just for a second here. I'm just using a little bit of this here. Solder right here, solder and flux. Alright. All I'm doing is just getting a little brush of it and putting it on the brush. And you just want to clean this up, guys. That's all you want to do, is just want to clean this up. Alright. And put a little in here. That's all I need. I'm all done there. And just, you don't need to tighten that down, just enough to hold it. Tighten it too much, you'll be bending it. No sense of that. Alright. Then I'm going to tuck that down in there. Then I'm going to grab some solder. Got a piece of solder. Well, let me grab a piece out of there, that box I had. I'm just using this Ronson core 60/40. Cut you off a little dab, so. Alright, now what we're going to do is just heat this. You know what, I've got to take the O-ring off of there. I better do that real quick because I don't want to melt it onto the lighter base. Thing was hard, really hard. Put it back in there, and all right. Okay. Got more on there than I need. Look at that. Doesn't that just look terrible? Oh well. I'm going to let that cool for a second. Let that cool for a second on there. Get my vise off of there. Yeah. There we go. Now, let's get back here a little bit. I want to move this. Let's move this a little bit. Give me a little file here. Start filing down the back of it. I'm going to do it a little quicker. I'm going to use this Dremel tool here. Got a little toasty on the fingers there. Let me get some of that brass off. I got a little bit of solder on here. Let me just. I'll just clean that up. It's on here as well. Hold on a second. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get my drill and my center drill ready here. Whatever I do with that. There it is. So let me kind of clean that up. Brush this off a little bit. All right. I'm using just a 400 sandpaper, I think here. What is it? Yeah, 400. Alright, now you can see what I got here. I don't see no pinholes in there, so we're good there. Now I'm using I'm going to use a Ronson valve. So let me get a Ronson valve out of here. You can get these off of eBay. What I recommend you do, you can buy them separately, but I recommend getting this little installation tool here. Right here, it comes with it. do that, you'll have to make your own out of a screwdriver or nut driver or something, whatever you got handy. But you have to have a Dremel tool to do that, or hand file it. It'd be easier just to buy one. You get on, there's a guy named David out of the UK. That's where I buy mine. I usually buy about 10 or so at a time. So what I need to do at this point is I got to drill the inside of that out, and I'm using a 3.7 millimeter drill bit. And another thing I use to help myself out is I use an old Zaima lighter for parts. I got for parts. This lighter here, it's a parts lighter. It doesn't even have it's not even repairable. Anyway, I use that, and I get an O-ring. Let's see, probably I don't have a real big one, so I'm going to use the 3.5 right here, 3.5 by 1 millimeter. I'm just going to use that, and I'm just going to stretch this O-ring and get it on there. And get these O-rings out of O-rings and more. Alright, let me get my candle over here a little better. Alright, well, I put the O-ring on there because when I'm drilling this out, if you don't put an O-ring on there, it might make it a little bit harder to get that valve out of there, especially if you don't have a proper tool. There we go. That's done. Okay. Now let me get that little wrench. And get everything put up here out of my way. Might be able to get that out with this. No, let me use this again. There we go. All right. Yeah, everything looks good. Hole drilled out. Except now I'm going to have to get another rag because I got a bunch of brass pieces on that. I don't want to get it on that lighter and scratch it up. So anyway, I'll switch it out here in a minute. Then stick that in there. No, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I gotta tap it out first. I gotta tap it out. You know what I'm thinking, but kind of getting ahead of myself here to kind of cut video short, but you need to quit worrying about that. Just pay attention to what I'm doing here. Alright, and what we got here, guys, and we got a this here, you can get on there and you can type this in eBay, M4.5 by 0.5 tap, HSS. Okay, and we just get in there and get her started. Go back and forth. When you get her started, you know, come out, take your tap out, and yeah, let me, it's coming out now. Let me go in there a little further. Take that tap out. I always take a little wire brush and wire brush the fillings off the tap, and you guys don't freaking just try to tap through the whole thing either now, because break that tap off in there, then you're going to have a freaking mess. So take your time. Another thing I forgot to do too is yeah, what to do with it. I usually put a little dab of oil on there. You see where I did my oil. It's gotta be in there close by, because there it is. This ain't no tap oil, guys. Just a little bit of gun oil, alright? Weapon shield. That makes it go a lot smoother. We'll take it out one more time. See, I got lots of brass fillings. And that oil is going in there pretty smooth. I actually got a little bitty hole in that. I could see down in there and see how far that tap's coming out. All right. Alright, I want to clean this one more time. We'll give her a shot. I'd like to drill all the way through it. That way I make sure my, I like to tap all the way through it. That way I can make sure that that gets screwed all the way down tight. One time I did that, I didn't get tapped enough. Let's see where we're at. Well, we're getting there. Alright, I think I got it good enough. Alright. You're definitely going to want to get you an old junk lighter for a donor to have this to screw in there if you're going to be doing this. Either that or you're going to have to get a, you know, your lighter, you'll have to get a vise with some rubber jaws or something on it, okay? Alright, right now I gotta take everything off of here and get rid of my brass fillings and stuff. Alright. Yeah, that's going to be plenty good. I keep some of these old cans of butane that got a little bit of air in them. Just kind of blow out some of the there we go. I'm going to get down in there with a with kind of a little bitty Q-tip and kind of clean out the inside of that. Got a little bit of dirt and stuff in there, see, the oil. Looks good. Now let's check out the and got a little piece of thread in there or something. Just a little burr. Just a second. Alright. I'm going to do it with my little wrench. There it is. I really don't care for these. I wish they had a little hole in there and just kind of fit over that to center that on there. But it is what it is. Use what you got. Okay. Seems like I got that tightened down pretty good. Yeah. Here's what we got. Alright, now what you want to do, guys, is you want to check. What I usually do is get like the cap that screws on there. Some of these caps are a little bit longer. Just make sure it goes all the way down against the valve. That way you know you got the clearance. Got plenty of clearance here. Alright. So we got the valve part done. We can set that aside. I'm going to take my hands off a little bit here. Get that rag out of the way. Put this lighter up. I'm going to put another rag down here. Alright. Now we'll get to disassembling. Let me zoom in a little bit and try to keep this in frame here. When you unscrew these, get a screwdriver. See how that fits down in that slot there? Get one that fits down there good, because if you don't, you can booger your valve up. I keep all these valves. You can see what all them valves I got. I got some valves there, and there's probably some more scattered out through here, but I keep them. Once in a while somebody will send me a lighter and the valve's kind of shot on it, so I'll just replace it. Looky there, that hasn't been off in probably 50 years. I want to show you something on this here particular gotta move my camera around here a minute, guys. Be patient. Alright, now see this one here, this flame adjustment. This is a stopper here. This is what keeps your flame from going too high. Now, but you got to take that out. And sometimes they're a freaking pain in the rear end to get back. So just to let you know, I usually score this a little bit so I know to get it, which one it goes in between. But if you can't get it back, there we go. I'll try to leave it like that and just go that route. Get your screwdriver down in here and just turn that. Unscrew that. And pull it out. A little spring down in there, yeah. You gotta watch that little spring. What I usually do when I got little springs, guys, I get one of these little magnets, right? And I stick it to it. That way they're not walking off on you. You don't want that stuff to walk off on you. Now, I got that valve out. Sometimes them get froze in there and you got to take them out back by pushing on this right in the middle where your wick is. Just push on that. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this one's a little hard getting out, so yeah, we're good now. You most generally have to get them out by pushing on that, guys. Because they're froze in there. Yeah, that one was frozen in there for sure. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's why these, look at this, guys, brand new lighter, right? This was never going to work. And there's reason right there. Look at that. Look at that corrosion. Frozen on the inside of that there. You know. See all the green corrosion in there? That's from the moisture and stuff and from the brass. Just, you know, how over time it just corrodes. So what I do is I just kind of go in there and get you a Q-tip and clean it out. You got to get that stuff out of there. See how dirty that was? Good Lord. Keep doing that. Clean that out. Keep doing that until you get a clear cotton swab. Probably going to take another one. I'll get down in here with this and kind of get around here a little bit. Careful what you use, because that right there, that black stuff, that's a sealer, because there's a little, see, there's a little pipe. It goes right on the inside of there into this tube here. So you don't want to use no acetone or anything like that. Alcohol is plenty strong enough. Yeah. Get some more cotton swabs. See that? You want that smooth in there because the O-ring seals against that wall. And this little valve right here, when you adjust this here, when you screw this down with your flame wheel, basically pushes that down. Okay, this little valve assembly. I'll show you what we got in here after I get done cleaning this. Yeah, that's clean right there. I want to point something out to you too while I'm here. I want you to pay attention here, because this could save you a freaking headache, alright? This tube right here, alright, that the gas comes up through here and through this tube right here and out here. Now, sometimes I've seen this tube come past the exterior of this wall here. Alright? If that's the case, push it a little bit. The reason I say that is because when you go to stick this part back in with a new O-ring on here, sometimes that little tube sticks out too far right there, and it'll catch that O-ring and it'll slice it right off. And when you get it pushed down there, you'll see a little bit of O-ring around the exterior of it, and you know you cut it, you got to pull it back out. So keep an eye on that right there. This one looks to be in, yeah, this one's in plenty far. This is a good deal here. We're all right. We're good to go. So now, I want to come to another point, and that's right in here. There's an O-ring. Boy, that thing looked like me. Seen his better days. I mean, yeah, it's all gooped up. Look at that. Wow. No. Let me back out a little bit, get a little close here. Look at that. You gotta clean these good, guys. If you want them to work right, you gotta clean them good. That's just all there is to it. There ain't no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Dump that in some alcohol and shove that down in there. Look at that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now another thing I want you to pay attention to. You see this? You see that corrosion around there? You got to get that off of there. Now I'm gonna tell you why you must get that off of there. Let me get it off here first. I just usually just take a razor blade, because it's kind of crusted on there. Okay. That way you make sure you get it off. We're good. Okay. Now, gotta have an O-ring in there. And you think I can remember which one I used? No, I can't remember. I'm thinking it's this 1.5. 1.5. 1.5 by 1. No, that's not it. Oh, maybe it is. Let me check over here first. Okay, here's another thing you want. You see this O-ring here? You don't want that O-ring to fit tight around that shaft. I'm going to try that. That's a 1.5. I'm going to try that too. That might be too big. Let me see though. Yeah, that's kind of too big. Yeah. I don't have a 1.8. I ran out of them. Go back to this 1.5 here. I'm thinking. Let me double check it again. I'm going to get something else. I think I'm going to get my 0.8. Let's see here. I'm going to get my 0.8s out here. That's 3. There we go. I'm thinking that 3. Yeah, I'm thinking that 3 right there might have been what I used. No, it isn't, because that's a 3, 1/2. That's 2. That's 3.5. That's not it. I want it closer to a 4. Right here. No, that ain't going to do it either. Maybe that is the one I wanted. Right here. Let's just go with this. This is 3.5 OD. And listen to me here, guys. You want this to slide up and down that O-ring, because I'll tell you what will happen if it doesn't, okay? That little bitty spring right here, this is what puts pressure on this to come up and to push this valve up. Of course, there's a little spring inside here, and to push this valve up. And I don't have a lot of tension. This has to move freely on that O-ring. If it doesn't, your flame will fluctuate. It will be various height. If you get it where you have a problem, you know you got everything out, make sure that O-ring you got on here, if it's too tight, put one that's looser on there, because it does make the difference. Matter of fact, let me go in here and put this back together. Now, these right here, guys, I'll tell you what. Let me show you something. I usually press on these. These are really, what I do, if you can see, you see the, let me focus a little bit here. Get up a little closer, all right? See the indentation in that? Well, I'll tell you what I do. This is still, these are usually good. Unless they're hard, replace them. I mean, if they're hard, replace them. But what you can do is you can take these and turn them around. All right. If you don't, if the one he's got's no good, you know, you use about a 2.5 millimeter cord. Let me see here. Zoom back out. Let me find mine. It's in here somewhere. I got stuff down in here. That's 2. That's not it. Well, this is a 2.4 millimeter Buna 70 cord. Get it at O-rings and more. Alright. What I'll do is I'll stuff that in there. Now it's tight, but it's a good fit. You might have to see what I got, and I'll just cut this off. But there's no need. This one will work. Alright, well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. I'll show you what I do here. What I'll do is I'll get it started. And might as well just do a complete. I'll get it started and I'll just cut it off. So that's a lot more than I'm going to need, okay? But what I want to do is I want to push this down. I want to make sure I got it all the way down in the bottom, alright? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Remember, 2.4 O-rings and more, 2.4 millimeter Buna 70 cord. Alright? I just got 2 foot here. You can cut a lot of plugs with 2 foot. Alright, now, another thing is, I want to lose them springs. Let me move them up here for a minute. Another thing is, when you're, I'm going to get me a new razor blade out too. Another thing is too, guys, is that you don't want that cord very far over that brass part. Okay, you don't want it because it'll interfere. I tell you what, this is stuff I've learned. So if you pay attention to what I'm telling you, you won't have to go through what I went through. One time I was having problems with my freaking flame. It was just erratic like that, and I couldn't figure it out. And something come to my head about that stopper because I put a new one in it being too long. So I took it out and cut it down, and it fixed it right off the bat. So, you know, take my word for it that that's all you need to do. Just cut it down and leave a little bit there. See what I got there? Just a little bit hanging out. That's all you want. You don't want any more than that. Don't want any more than that. And what I cut off there, I'll save it too. Alright. So that part's done. So now we can go back to putting this valve together, which is the little spring on top. Okay. Remember, this plunger on the inside pushes on this spring here, which pushes on the valve, see? And this little spring here goes in there like that. Now, set that off to the side. That's completely done. Now, what I want to show you here, I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this off out of the way because this is going to be messy. Okay. I want to show you something here. I'm going to zoom in on this so you can really see what's going on here. This is a seal here, right? This is a seal. Watch this. See that? That's like tar. I don't know why. I've come across on Zaimas, and I come across that on Safa lighters, like the Safa 21s I repaired. Not all of them, but this is freaking. It's disgusting. It's like a freaking tar. Let me get a little Kleenex here. You know, that's a seal, guys. It doesn't take freaking much of gray matter to figure out that that sure ain't gonna do its job. Alright. Good Lord. That's just frozen in there. I always seem to pull that out. I'm going to use this. Yeah, see the inside of that? That's like a little bitty patch. You want to leave that in there. Alright. Good Lord, I gotta clean my fingers off. I wasn't for sure if that was going to be that bad or not, but I figured there's a good chance of it, so that's why I wanted to do a close up this valve too, you know. See, I want you to pay attention. See, there's green in there. You want to scrape that out. There's a little bit on that cotton, but don't worry about that. I'll pull it out. Tuck it down in there. That's pretty good there. And I'm going to scrape the outside of this too. This is under this part right here I'm scraping. It's keep in mind that it's underneath the main seal, so I'm just scraping it just to get this, you know, it's easier to scrape it off than it's trying to wire brush that stuff off. That's good. That's ready. Okay. That's ready. Put that offside. This is what's a mess right here. Find my brush. Boy. Should have worn my rubber gloves, but it's easier for me to hold on to things this small without no gloves on. That's why I'm not really going to touch the exterior chrome parts. Sometimes, guys, just getting the lighter cleaned up eats up a little bit of time. Can't even see a sponge on here. Alright, let's get the razor blade again. Just go over the outside of this lightly. Just kind of scrape it off a little bit, the green. Because this here's got to, remember this part here, got to travel up and down. This whole piece right here's got to travel up and down inside the main valve area, inside the lighter body. Well, let's see if we can get this part. Boy, well, put a little heat on that. Give me a second. Gotta find something to put it into. There we go. Come right out. A little bit of heat. Alright. Don't want to break that off inside that. Keep that in mind. You don't want to do that. Be careful. I'm using a little wire brush, but even then I'm kind of careful with what I'm doing. See how I'm holding that. Just to get in there and wire brush that bottom part there with that sponge. The old sponge used to be on there. I went and bought one of these little wire brushes like this at that Harbor Freight. Don't waste your time. I end up throwing it away because every time I brushed it, one of them bristles was coming out. Last thing I want to do is get them on the floor and have to step on them and run them up my foot. Just something more to Aggravate you. See how clean that is? Alright, we're good there. Now we want to do the same thing with this. I don't use no Dremel tool on this. You might put, using a stainless steel brush, you might put, you know, scored up. Alright, now what we want to do now is, well, that's a real small hole on this one. I mean, really small. But I gotta get in there and clean the inside of this tube out, so. I gotta get this in there. You know what, guys, I don't know how many guys out there. I know there's a guy in Italy. I got him on my page. He works on lighters. Can't remember his name. I've asked the guy a few questions. He's answered them. He's a real nice guy. Watch some of his videos just to get a little hint on how to especially take one of them Flaminaire F10s apart. I don't recommend purchasing any of those Flaminaire F10s either. They got a valve system in them that's just basically is almost like non-repairable. You get so far, then that's all you can do. And you can tell that's dirty on the inside there. Well, let me get a little bitty something in there to see if there's anything's coming out on the tip of this. Not really. Got a little butane going through this here, kind of cleaning that out on the inside. Yeah, we got her. Seems like we got it. Need to look on the inside of this light though. Oh yeah. Get you one of these guys. Because if you need to get down inside with a lighter, this will give you enough light. I don't know if you can see. See how you can see down inside that tube there? Probably can't see with the camera focusing. Not focusing right, but it actually really helps you get down there and look inside stuff. This is one of the things that's made for looking in your ears. You guys probably seen these before. I think I got this for $7 or so off of eBay. Boy, it was worth the money. Way worth the money. Alright. And you can see how that fits in there, see. Now here's the purpose of this. When you screw down, remember how the flame adjustment screw fits over this? Alright, here's what happens. Alright. This stopper goes over the little orifice there. Alright. plugs the gas, stops the gas. Now when you let go, the spring pushes up. Now the gas is coming through the lighter. Alright, but what this does, when you screw down on this, it pushes pressure on this, puts pressure on this part here to push down on this with a little, this has a sponge on it. That's another thing we're going to get to right now. Alright. Now, I used to get out of them disposable lighters, like I said, and had to get one of these here sponges out of there. You know how it's got that hole in there? But I want to show you something. And your flame adjustments, and I noticed this, but I just didn't have any luck sourcing anything else to work. But the problem using these guys is that the hole's too big for this pin. Okay? So gas seeps up through it. So you really have to crank down on your flame adjustment screw to press down on that. So what I use now, I bought these off of eBay. I got some new sponges I bought off of eBay. You guys, I don't know if you guys still sell them on there or not, but let me show you. Here's what they are. These don't have any holes in them, alright? So I'll get one of them out of there. And I'll get my razor blade. And I'll cut that green off of that white. Now I'm going to use the white. Just so you'll know, I'm going to use the white. But what I got to do is, though, I got to poke a small hole through there. I'll try it with this first. Yeah. Now I want to see if I can get that on that. You might have to punch it with a, that's kind of flat. I might have to punch a hole in there. I don't know if I can get this started on there or not. I usually punch a hole through there with a leather punch. I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, I got a half a, I got this here leather hole punch, alright? And it's 0.5 millimeter. So you want to get in the middle. Alright. Got a little bitty hole in there. Yeah. That's going to be a lot easier to get on that little pin here. If I can just get these fingers of mine to work. Fingers of mine wasn't made to work for something that small. There we go. See what we got. That'll work good. Now we got to get the main seal on there. Here's what I've been using. Okay, 2.1 by 1.5. I believe that's what I've been using. Yeah. That's a 5.1 OD. Okay, on this O-ring it's a 5.1 OD. See here, 4.88. So that there works good. I also got a 5.3 and a 5.5, but just because I wasn't for sure which one of these to use. These are softer. You can get these on AliExpress. Just look that up. You know, I can't remember the guy, but just look up. You just have to do a search, unless I remember to put something in the description line, a link or something to them. You can see how the O-rings protruding there. The other O-rings protruding past the brass a little bit, the edges. That's what you want. Alright. Look at there, we're ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting this back together. Alright. Now there's a little bitty ridge in there. You can see that. Sometimes you got to take a little bitty one of these to kind of feed it past that. There. Alright. What I do here is I get a little bitty brass. Push it down. Yeah, there we go. Went right down in there, felt good, felt smooth, felt just like it's supposed to feel. Okay. Alright, from this point, you got to put this back in. This side goes down. Alright. Then I get this right here. Stick this in sideways because you want the spring really coming out of here. You want to stick that in there sideways. Leave it like that. Then try to dig up that little bitty screwdriver right here that I was using and screw that down in. Okay, now I didn't screw that real tight, but I snugged it, okay? Alright. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this fill valve and I'm going to put it back down in here. No, I didn't. I don't think I showed you, but let me show you something. Show you this working. Alright, see? Now, you know that works. See how simple that was? you don't have to crank these down real tight, guys. When you're tightening them up, you don't want to deform that O-ring, you know, where it leaks. Just snug it down. Especially if you're using this tool, it'll put more pressure on it than a screwdriver will normally. There we go. Besides, you're going to check it for leaks anyway. If you need to turn it down a little more, you can turn it down a little more. Now, let's check it out here and see what we got. You always got to bleed the air out of them, take them valves out. You try to fill it up, you don't get much butane in there because you got a lot of air in the tank. See how it's sputtering there a little bit? You know you got a full tank when you get nothing but liquid butane out of this, alright? I don't need to fill this thing completely up, just enough to try it. There we go. Well, what did I do with my little valve? My little pipe valve I had for this. I'm going to put it in here. Now, I'll get another one. I'm going to be selling these pipe valves. Anybody that got some more coming in. I have one that's in better shape than this. These look a little dirty. Let's see where that thing went. I might have stuck it in here or something. Just give me a minute. I'm usually doing that. Put something somewhere to keep it out of the way, and then next thing you know, that will work. It just needs a little cleaning. Which I will do right now. All right. Let's unscrew this a little bit. Notice that my little pin fell out of there, which doesn't surprise me. No, it didn't. It's right there. Alright, it's still on there. Alright, what to do here? You can get something right. Should be gas coming out way before now. Should be gas coming out way before now. Well, let's take it out. Trying to think of what the holdup is on that. What the holdup is on that. Let me look it through this here. See what we got. Okay. Well, that's good. I got an idea. I've got a little bit of an idea, but I'm not sure. Let me grab my, and look at this. I think I was getting any gas through there. Well, if that's the case, that's a first. Look for my little bitty tool I had out here earlier. Lay something down here. Can't find it. Alright. Well, we'll put this together again. Better get the cotton on there. Let me see what I got going here and I put this together. All right. All right. Okay. Try it again. this morning here. We're going to do there. That flame down there base is coming out there. See, this is very tight. So, yep, shuts off good. You always want to be able to just press down this a little bit and shut it off. Turn her up high. Alright. What I did was I squeezed that down a little bit, you know, but what we want to do though, before I put everything back together, we want to kind of find the highest flame possible. I think that's it right there. And you can see where this pin's out of whack now. That's not going to be a stopper. Tell you what I do, you see that right there, how that is? I want to show you something here. Because I've tried to hammer these. I'll show you. I've tried to hammer these things back in, and they're a freaking pain in the rear end. Alright, so what I'm doing, that's just a flame adjustment stop on it, okay? So you'll know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I got plenty of flame adjustment valve on there, or flame adjustment on there, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of super glue on that pin to hold on that wheel. Let's see what we got here. I want to move that in a little bit actually. Put a little bit more around there. That'll work. Back on the cloth here. Let's see, make sure none of it roll down there. No, we're good. Yeah, give me plenty of flame adjustment. Still have to use my finger. I had to use my finger to, you know, that's the deal on some of these Zaima lighters. Some of them screw in easily and some of them don't. Don't ask me why. But sometimes you got to use a fingernail on these. Some of them can work good with, you know, with your thumb, and some of them you got to just use a little fingernail on. This one happens to be a fingernail one, so we're good there. Now, This is why you don't leave, see that? This is why you don't leave flints inside your lighter. See what happened? It decomposes and plugs it up. What I do about that is I get one of these little 2.5 millimeter steel rods, which is the size of a flint. Stick it down in here and just tap it out. See how easy that was? Right there's the old flint. That's all you gotta do. Don't want to drill it out. You can drill it inside the flint too, then you'd be screwing up. And after you do that, you want to get the little, well, I can't find it. I'll grab it. Well, I had it here a second ago. It's like everything else. They don't pay attention when I lay stuff down and walks away on me. Right here it is. Get you one of your pipe cleaners. Just clean that out. Clean and ready to go. Alright. And clean that a little bit right there. We're good. Get a cotton soap, cotton swab, get in here and watch. I've never done this. Look how clean that is. You can tell that's never been used. Not even dirty there. Dirtier back here. Another way you can tell too is by this brass right down in there and the back of this one right here. See how clean that is? That platform's brass. It's just, and this thing's buttery smooth. It's really nice and smooth. Alright. We're ready, and see where some of the flint got off on the spark wheel there and kind of clogged it up, so we're gonna get a little bit of alcohol and clean that up. Where's that little bitty tool of mine? Put some of this stuff up so I can find it. It's here somewhere. Alright. We'll use this. Clean that flint wheel out a little bit there. See, I see some of that stuff on my finger there. That's that flint caked up. This pin's actually way too big. That other little tool I had works perfectly for that. It's got a real small hole in it. There it is. Or real small. I mean, it's really small. Oh wow, gets right down in there perfectly. In between all that, get that out of there. Look like a brand new wheel when I get done. basically is a brand new wheel. Good to go there. Good to go. See if I'm going to need a spacer on this pipe valve. Don't know, but we'll find out here. Might need to drill the top of that out too. No, I think we're going to be good on that. Yeah, no, we're good. No, I'm going to have to. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Okay, you see how that pipe valve's hitting there? Well, see, this needs to be drilled out just a little bit more to clear it. And all I got to do is center drill it just a little bit. That's all I got to do. I got to get me a larger center drill. It's in here somewhere. There we go. And let's see which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah. See, I'm just taking out a little bit of brass out around that. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at there. Perfect. Perfecto. All right. Get one of my premium plants out of here. This is what you want to use, guys. Get these off of eBay. I actually bought 1,000 of these. Guy out of Turkey, I think, sells them. $12 a pack shipped, but you know, I bought 1,000 of them. These are the best flints you can get. Let's put it this way, Dunhill, all them, these people make their flints. You say, well, how do you know that? Well, because look at here, these are made in Austria. And the company that, the guy that built this company, he's the guy that designed the Faro rod or whatever, you know, so these guys are premium manufacturers. And I'm the ones, you know, you get all them DuPont flints and, you know, all them Calibri flints and stuff like that. Premium flints, they're going to be made by the same company here. There isn't, you know, they're going to be made a certain diameter, maybe different colors or whatever, but it's going to be the same manufacturer. You get them Chinese flints. I've read some of the what was it? Some of the they had like plastics and stuff inside the plants, okay, so let's put that up a little bit. There we go. Frame's a little bit kind of, see how the frame's a little erratic. Check it shut off. I put this, what I'll do is check the gas shut off. I'll put this up to the mirror and open up the lid. And let's see what we got here. Pressing down on that a little bit. Yeah. What I'm going to do is there's air in there still. Alright. See how sweet that was. That's really sweet. I'll have to let this flame. I'll have to let this settle a little bit. Okay. Let's see what I got. Still got some air in there. Probably doesn't help since I got that what was I thinking here? Now if bleeding doesn't cause that or doesn't help that erratic flame, then the only other option I got is that O-ring around that push rod. Yeah, you got a little bit of erraticness in there. That's not going to do it. I'm going to have to take this apart and figure that out. Believe you me, that's not going to come off there because I got that super glue is going to hold that on, so don't worry about that. Alright. Because you're not putting that much pressure. on around there. Well, I got a good clean there. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this, I'm going to, that sponge, I think it's too thick. For one, I think that doesn't help on flame adjustment. So, I'm going to take that off of there. This is, I think, the second or third time I've used these sponges. And I think I used the green one before, the green side. And it's a little thinner. I've already got this one punched, so I'm just going to cut it, trim it off. Let's see what happens with that. I bet you that does that. Now, let me go in here and take another check at this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, see that, guys? That isn't falling out of there. That's the problem. That fluttering flame right there. You see? I gotta put quite a bit of pressure against that. That O-ring was too small around that shaft. I thought that was perfect, but it wasn't. So I'll get that O-ring out of there and I'll get another one. That's important. Remember I told you earlier about that fluctuating flame. Well, now you know. Point. And you, oh yeah, you don't want the O-ring any larger than necessary either. Let's see what we got here. No. I need to find the exact one I used before. I think I wrote that down, didn't I? No, maybe not. Let's see here. I think this might be it. Let's try this. Yeah, sticking up in there. Yeah, I believe that's going to be it. So that's one we want, 3.2, 0.7. Alright, I'll put that back together. And what I did with the O-ring here should fix the flame fluctuation, okay? Because you see how that falls out of there? That's what you want. Because that's a real light spring. That's pushing up on this rod. So everything's got to work, you know, like a fine-tuned machine. I thought that was, you know, good, but apparently it wasn't. Now, cut this sponge down here. This should make the difference on the flame adjustment as far as being easier, not having to, hopefully not having to use your fingernail, but I can't guarantee that because all these Zaima type lighters use this kind of thumb wheel on the side. Sometimes they're perfect and, well, sometimes they're not, so it is what it is. Well, let's get that in there first. No, let's don't. Should make it better. Should make it better. That fell out. So I like to put that in there together. There. There we go. There's that. That. And this. Alright. Yeah, before we do the platform back on, I'm probably going to have to readjust, you know, that flame adjustment valve on there because I cut that sponge down, alright? So it's going to make an effect on where I glue that pin on for that flame stopper. There we go. Alright. Well, maybe I didn't get the right O-ring on there. No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I had flames coming out around this area right here. So that means I didn't get it tight enough around there. It's just a little bit. What I should do is, to be honest with you, just measure this. See what I got here. And a little under 1.5. Alright. So, let's see, 1.5. 1.5. So I need a 1.5 ID. This was, okay. Yeah, 1.5 ID. Boy, I would have thought that 1.5 would have done it, but I think that's it. Now, let's try another one. Point 6. No, that's too big. 0.6. So that's 1.2. So we got 1.8. That might be it. How about that? Yeah, I thought maybe that. And that's the one I had on there. I think I had a 1.5 on there. Yeah, I had that 1.5 on there before. I'm going to put, I got no idea. 3 points, that's 3.07, that's the same, 3.2. Let's try this one. Thought that was the one I had on there. Well, we're going to get her straight. Once we do, you better make a note of it. That's not enough. Yeah, 3.0. Well, I'll get to it. That's why I gotta spend a little bit more time and write this stuff down. Instead of just write it down, that way these videos won't be a freaking 2 hours long. I'm going to try that one right there. I'm going to try that one. And if it works, then I'll give you the dimensions. Alright. No. Okay, here we go. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Right now, this is one of them knot times. Alright. Now, I'm going to probably sprung that out too much now. Yeah, I did. Sprung that out too much. There we go. Alright. Let's see what we got. Yeah, you're going to get air in every time you take a valve out. That's just all there is to it. Well, we cured it. Well, I gotta, yeah, I still gotta I still got a seal deal. Yeah, I still got it. See, I didn't really fix that. Cutting that sponge down didn't fix that at all, because you got to crank down on that. I did fix the irregularity of the valve, but I'm not getting a good enough seal up here on top. Well, let's go back and do the Go do it again. I would have thought. Let me get in here for a second. We'll see photo valve. It's pipette, fill valve outer. It's not there. Thought I had some specs wrote down on these seals. I got every lighter but the Zaima. Well, let's just keep trying. It's got a seal there. Keep trying. It's not this one. It's not the 3. I need the let's go ahead and do one more time measuring this. 3.4. 3.4. It's 2. It's 3.5. Let's put that down in there. Well, it's just that's having the same problem as I had before. So that's not going to work. I actually need something that's going to be a 3.40 D. Okay, let's look at the different size O-rings here. 3.2, that might be it right there. That's 2 point. That might be it. Let's try this one. I'll put it on one way. You gotta just kind of try it out. what was that? That's 3. Oh, that's just a 3. Where's that? It's not going to work. 0.5 is not going to work. 0.4 is not going to work. .6 is too much. 2.6 is too small. 4.1, 4.5, 4.3, 0.8, 3, 0.8. Let's see. What about that 2.4? Where's that at? Oh yeah. I had a 2.4. What did I do with that? Figure out where to put that at. Might be over here. That's probably why I've been missing them. I got a lot of my O-rings over here. Set out for a particular job. Yeah, that's probably what I messed up right there, I bet. 2.95. 6. No. That's probably it right there. No, that's not it. Yeah, what did I do with that? 2.4. Well, I'm going to go back with that 1.5. I mean, that's the only thing that makes any sense. But that was tight around there, but I'm going to put a little grease on that, see if that makes a difference. Might be what I forgot to do. We'll see. Yeah, that was it. Just need a little grease on that. I got it now. It's going to be 1.5 by 1 millimeter. So I just needed to put a little bit of O-ring grease on that, so that slides down easier. That spring, like I said, don't have a lot of tension to it, so this should do the trick. I would hope. Alright. Yeah. That's it. Let's see what we got on our flame adjustment. Well, you can use your thumb, but it's that's gonna be maximum there, so we'll go with that. All I need to do now is find that little pin. Alright. Get the glue back out. And the screwdriver. There we go. All right. All right. Get everything back in order. Yeah, we got enough flame adjustment there. Yeah, we're good. It was a 1.5 millimeter by 1 Buna 70 from O-rings and more right here. But put some O-ring grease on it. Alright. Well, I'm about ready for a break. I don't know how long this video's been. Just got home from work and I started on it. That's good. Look at how that, look at that guy. Is that a 90-degree angle or what? Well, I got her, guys. All you gotta do now is just put the cap on there. I'm gonna put an O-ring on the. I'm gonna put an O-ring on the. I'll put an O-ring on the flame screw or this. Well, you don't give you enough room for an O-ring on this one. But anyway. I could work it. Not as smooth as I'd want to be. But you know what? That's kind of a set it and forget it anyway. Should be. That might loosen up a little bit with time. I don't know. But that's a heck of an angle for a pipe lighter. That's it. Done. Finally done.